So for my penultimate 7 days of Halloween, I'm going to create a few little witchy themed artist trading cards. So I've got my bits and pieces already cut out. I have my black cardstock already cut out to the requisite 2.5 by 3.5 inches. In millimeters, in new money, that's 63 by 89. I know, but 2.5 by 3.5 inches. I have some of my new for this year digi-download backing papers, my texture sets. So these are the, I can't remember what these ones are called. Mad Science or Weird Science. That's the one. Weird Science or Mad Science or Mad Scientist. Can't remember. So I've got some of those done. They're the ones with the like anatomy bits on. And I've got 3 colours of those. So I've got the orange and I've got the green. Upside down. I've got the green and obviously we've got the purple. Purple being the colour of hiccups. So we've got those and we've also got the zany spirals. So in the same colours, but what I've done with those is I've cut them slightly smaller just so that when they're stuck down there's going to be a little bit of a border all the way around. So that's going to be my first task. So let's just move all these other bits and pieces that I've gathered together to stick down on my artist trading cards. I'll just move that to one side because we're not going to be using those just for now. Oh, I've also got my Tim Holtz word stickers as well. I've got 2, one from last year and one from this year. So we'll put those to one side as well. And we'll just pretty much, I've got 6. Because I think 6 enough is for this little collezione. And I've got my glue. So I'm just going to, what I've also done is I've taken one of my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. This is walnut brown, and I've just gone round those edges just to get rid of those raw white edges after I've cut it. My paper trimmer is in desperate need of a new blade. So it's starting to rag just a little bit. Of course, right, because we're putting glue onto card, I'm going to try, and this is PVA, just ordinary school glue, so there's not as much wiggle room as there would be if I was using spirit glue. So when this starts to dry, it's going to start to pull, so the card is going to start curving upwards. But once we stick our ATC form on the back, it's going to pull it back and it will straighten it back up again. So I'm going to do one of each colour. I've had to put my order in for more spirit glue because I hadn't realised I hadn't got enough. But hey ho. Right, so a little bit of a border all the way around. There we go, nice and neat. While I was going through my, I've got an old shoebox and it's full of Halloween stuff. So stickers, little mini stamps, little embellishments, stuff from Tim Holtz Halloweens from years past, googly eyes, plastic spiders, you name it. When I was going through it this year, I found a bag of skull beads. So on a whim, I found some elastic and I threaded them all on the elastic and made myself a little Halloweeny themed bracelet. Love it. It took about 5 minutes. Right, so those are those 3. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, when you've forgotten what you have. I think somebody sent me the bag of beads in Happy Mail. a year or two ago, or maybe last year, I don't know. I can't remember. And I can't remember who the person was that sent them, but I'm sure, I seem to remember they were in Happy Mail. So if you can remember sending me them, thank you so much. If you're watching. Right, so there's that one more, no, two more I should say. But the thing with these Halloween artist trading cards is that it doesn't really matter if you get little bits curling up on the sides or anything like that, because it's Halloween and you can get away with rips, tears, grunge, drips, dribbles, you name it, you can get away with it. So just try to even out the edges. That one was a bit too late for that one now. The PVA glue does tend to grab quite quickly with it being onto very porous card. It does grab quite quick. Okay, so try and get it as close as you can as soon as it goes down, and then just pat down. There we go. So what you can do, or what I like to do, is just turn them all over, stack them all up like that. And then just for 5 minutes, just put something heavy on them, and then just leave them for 5 minutes to dry and to set before moving on to your next stage. Okay, so they've pretty much dried now. Now I want to get some dictionary paper, so I've just pulled out from my old dictionary a couple of just a couple of sheets, and all I'm going to do is where that line is down the middle, I'm just going to hold this little ruler and I'm just going to gently just tear down that middle line, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up the width of the ruler and go again. So that's one strip, and then I want the other. And I'm probably only going to get two out of the one sheet. I could probably use these again. Will that fit? Yes, I'll probably be able to get those as well. Although it's going to be a bit more difficult to tear because these are smaller. Yeah, it's easier if you just use a bigger strip. I'm probably only going to need 3 anyway, so we'll just use this one. So, there we go. It's much easier when you've got more paper to pull on. Okay, so I've now got 3 strips. What I need to do is just cut them at around about 7 centimetres or 7.5 centimetres, which is probably about 3 inches. So if I just fold at about 7.5, or would it just be easy just to cut it, wouldn't it? Let's just put all 3 together. There we go. Right, so if I lay all 3 down, doesn't matter if they're not exact, it's near enough. 3 inches will do it. Right, pencil. Just about there, and then again at, oh no, it's 3.5 inches, isn't it? Did I say 3.5 inches? Or did I say 3 inches? 3 inches, so that's fine. So, and again, probably about there. That's okay. So let's just bump those up. The ruler's about 1 inch wide, by the way. So I'm doing these about 1 inch wide by 3 inches tall. There we go. That will do. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of the dictionary paper and I'm going to stick a piece on just randomly, either left or right. And of course, with it being dictionary paper, you can turn it over whichever way you like. It doesn't really make any difference. So I'm going to use a little bit of, if I've got enough, spirit glue. And again, oh look, it's all come squidging out. I'm not going to go all over. I'm just going to stick it down in the middle. That's the problem with spirit glue. Right, next bit. Okay, so green one. Let's random that one out the other side. Like so. And then we'll do purple. We'll do that at the left as well. Okay, so those are the 3 of the anatomy ones. Let's just see what we got. Okay, orange, green and purple. So because we did the dictionary page on the left hand side on that first orange one, let's do one on the opposite side on this one. Haha. Wait, just the random letters. Got hooligan on this one and hooker, but hey ho. Right, so for the green, seeing as we've done left, seeing as we've done right, we'll do left on this one. So on this one you've got evolution and evoke. And then on the purple one we'll do the right hand side again. Just enough, I think. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Yep, so we've got one at either side. So that's a nice bit of variation on each one. So each one different, but the same. Okay, so next off, let's grab our floating heads. So let's pop the men on first. So I'm not going to stick them down just yet. And yes, you may recognise a couple of the faces. So Jimmy's going to go orange and green. Ken is going to go on green with a purpley hat. Or should we get him to go that way? So I've got both directions. And orange, let's see, where's the other one? So let's do the men all going over to the left. So yeah, And then the ladies, and then you've probably seen her already once this Halloween. So she's on there, so we'll give her purple because that's different to James. Green can go on the purple there, which just leaves orange for that lady there. Yeah, I'm happy with those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the glue, sorry, I'm going to put the hat on our character first. Yep. Just put a blob. Love it. And of course, you can just pop them out of tilt if you want. Okay, so that's those three. Let's do it for the chaps now. I mean, you could, if you wanted to do this, you could actually do these with members of your own family, couldn't you? You could cut out photos of loved ones or friends, or if you were going to send them to somebody, to the person you're actually sending them to, you could actually use their face, couldn't you? Okay, so I'm going to just leave those to set for a minute or two, just so that the glue just grabs and they hold in place while I'm going to manipulate and glue them down. And then while they're doing that, I've got some of this stripy, what I'm calling now Zetty paper. So, and what I want is just a strip about the same size as the dictionary paper. So I'm going to cut those on my paper trimmer, and I'll go away and do that, and then come back once I've done those. By that time, they should have actually set. Okay, so I've got all of my little Zetty strips, so all I'm going to do is just go around just with the pen on all 6. They're not necessarily all a uniform size, but they're all pretty much the same. Some are slightly bigger than others because they're fiddly. Right, so while I do this to all the rest of those 6, they're just about dry. So by the time I've done this, then they'll be ready to go. So I will see you in a moment or two. Okay, so that's all 6 of those Zetty strips done. Just as a quick aside with these Faber-Castell pip pens, if you're not familiar with them, they come in a range of colours, obviously like most pens do. But these are India ink. So what that means is, while they're still wet, you can mix and blend and rub them with your finger and do all sorts of lovely stuff with them while they're still wet. But once it's dry, it's permanent. So that's it. End of. And you can write on ceramics and glass and things like that with these. So they're magical. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just take off each of the characters. Okay, so we've got our glue, and I'm just going to put a thin bead of that glue just down there, and then just on the side of the dictionary paper I'm going to glue the Zetty strip down. Okay, So one, and it's going to be on the outer edge. Okay, that's two. Jimmy. Okay, let's swap those over. I really enjoy, I like these ones because they've got a little bit of a kind of a retro vibe to them. Like Halloween from the 50s or 60s. Particularly with the colours of the papers. That was kind of what I was hoping to go for this year. It's kind of that retro vibe with the colour palette. Still very much Halloweeny with the greens, oranges and the purples. But just with a teeny tiny little bit of a retro vibe. Okay, so they're all now stuck down the side. So those ones at the top, we'll swap them back over again because they will now be dry enough for me to be able to stick our main characters down. Okay, one. They almost look like horns from the back, don't they? Stick down, you bugger. There we go. Just a little pressure is needed sometimes. Okay, so swap over time. Now it's time for the ladies. So talking of witches, today is it the 1st of October or the 2nd of October today? 2nd of October. So we watched the new Hocus Pocus 2 last night with Bette Midler and Kathleen Jamie and Sarah Jessica Parker, and I have to say, thoroughly enjoyed it. A bit more of a modern take, because obviously the last one was it 30 years ago? 29, 30 years ago? I think they said 29 years in the film since they were last back. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Great sequel. But then again, love Bette Midler anyway. Actually, love Kathleen Jamie as well. Loved her in Sister Act. And of course, Sarah Jessica Parker. She's done quite a lot. There we go. Okay, so we now have our 6. So the space that we've got left, I've got some little plastic spiders. I don't think I'm going to bother with those. I was going to put bats on, but I think they're going to be too big. So instead, I think we're just going to stick with my original Trick or Treat or Halloween, Happy Halloween little signs that I'd already prepared. Alright, so once again, now we've got a couple of raw white edges where I've just cut. That one's done, so yeah, I think that's all it's going to really need, isn't it? And then do the same for the chappies. So who's going to get Trick or Treat? I think Jimmy is going to have Trick or Treat. And then Happy Halloween there. I should just be able to tuck that under his chin because I didn't glue it all the way down, because that's quite a tall one, isn't it? And then finally, yay, fabulous. So that works out even better because we've got 2 purples, 1 Trick or Treat, 1 Happy Halloween. Same for the greens, same for the oranges. So all we have to do again for that is just put a little bead of glue, not a huge amount. There we go. Okay, so I'll go off and stick all these down. Time to put the kettle on as well, I think. So I'll go make myself a nice cup of coffee. Well, finish gluing these down first, then I'll go make myself a cup of coffee. Give these a few minutes just to kind of dry and set, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so coffee, all the sentiments stuck on. I think we're ready to rock and roll. So let's flip over, and then I can start to add on my little artist trading card backs, and I've already pre-filled these in on the computer because I hate doing them by hand. So we'll do the first, or should we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it goes lady, gent, lady, gent, lady, gent. Yeah, why not? Why not indeed? Okay, so these can go on the back. So again, we'll just try and get them in the middle. So each one is individually numbered, 1 of 6, and I've called this series Which Witch is Which. So as you can see, October 2022, 1 of 6, created as part of my annual 7 Days of Halloween YouTube series for 2022. So each one individually numbered, each one unique. All very similar, but all very different. Which is the whole point about artist trading cards. Mini collage. Making sure I get it the right way around. I want to get any of them upside down. That would be just too funny. And of course, don't forget, even if you do get a little bit of squirty glue coming out the side, it's PVA, so it's going to dry clear anyway. There we go. Much better. And of course, you could go back in and distress to within an inch of their lives if you want to make them grungy, but I'm quite happy with that retro vibe rather than a grungy vibe to them. But you can do what you want, obviously, when you're making yours. If you decide to make something similar, take these as inspiration for your own set. Okay, so again, let those dry for a minute or two and I'll be right back. Okay, so they have all had a good 5 or 6 minutes to set, as you can see. So all that remains for me to do now is just to grab my little plastic collector's sleeves and just pop each one into its protective cover. There we go, and then that's another set of Halloween ATCs ready for sending out or swapping. There we go. Ooh. Bit of black fluff in that one. Come on. Or is it an ant? No, it's black fluff. There we go. So there we go. So those are my 6. I know. I'll take them back out of the plastic again. But they will go back in the plastic afterwards. I still need to do photographs of them, obviously, because they've only just been finished. So best to be photographed outside of the plastic wallet. Right, so there you go. So it's my little set of 6 Halloween artist trading cards for 2022. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put these little collage ATCs together. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again tomorrow for my last Halloween video for the year. Bye for now.